talk me through the emotional roller coaster of Vince talking to you about nominating you, then ultimately putting you up after the veto was used. Did you consider approaching Morgan, considering that she had the veto?
Yeah. Um, I think that Morgan was going to do what she wanted to do regardless of anything. I'd heard from Ava very early on that Morgan told her that she was going to use the veto. And I don't think that she would have gone back on that. Um, as for Vince, obviously, I laid out all the points as to why it would be a very not good decision for him to put me on the block. But he decided to anyways. And I feel like that was the first time that I was really like more stern with my game. Um, there was multiple times where he was like, we did have a conversation the night before the veto ceremony. And he said, I am not going to put you up. I don't like that I was put in this position. You don't have to worry about anything. I'm not going to let people force me to make decisions for me. And I was like, okay, great. And we had, a great conversation, went to bed next morning. I wake up and he's like, so I think I'm gonna put you up again. And I was like, okay, awesome. But I what was interesting about that was the motives behind me going up kept changing, which is why I was extremely skeptical of the whole situation. And which is why, even though Vince said that I was guaranteed safe from Morgan and Ashley's vote, I mean, those two people were people that I weren't aligned with for the entire game. So I wasn't going to put my trust in, sort of a third party, person. And that proved to be true when, moments before the blockbuster, they still wouldn't give me an answer as to whether they would keep me safe or not. So,
If you had won the double eviction HOH, who would you have tried to target?
if I had won the double eviction HOH, I would have definitely targeted either Morgan or Keanu. Keanu is obviously a huge competitive threat who was gunning for me. And then Morgan is obviously a very good contender in this game, and is also very close to Vince. Um, Vince did tell me that he doesn't think that he can win against Morgan, and that he would take me over her. I don't know if that was true, but I think at this point in the game, now that I'm not there, he's going to, she's pretty much all that he has. Well, maybe Keanu too. I'm not sure, but
How do you ultimately look back on your relationship with Vince, considering all the times you felt your trust in him was tested?
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like me and Vince do have very like similar brains, and we think very much alike. It was unfortunate that we didn't always see eye to eye. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any hard feelings against Vince. I think that he's again a great person and we're going to be friends outside of this. But it was very unfortunate that, he put me on the block and that I think that my game really, really did suffer from, you know, the decisions that he made. Um, Even when I told him that those decisions were going to hurt my game, he continued to make them, which is very unfortunate. Like the last decision, I had survived all of the poor decisions that I thought that he had made until what I believe was him evicting Kelly over Keanu. I think if he would have evicted Keanu, like I explained to him, would have been better for his game. I truly believe that I would still be there. So, and he would still have me as a number, but now he doesn't.
You were told at one point that you were indecisive in your HOH reigns. What's your reaction to that perception? And how do you look back on your HOHs now?
Yeah, I was definitely indecisive. I can definitely own up to that. I'm an indecisive person by nature, but I don't think that it was, entirely bad of me to be indecisive. I think with a lot of people and their HOHs, um, if they were too sure of what they were going to do or too decisive, it kind of came with their, nominations. It kind of came off as like a shot at that person. So I think being a little bit indecisive, okay, people see it as indecisive. I see it as weighing out all of the options. And I think in doing that, people maybe, well, I'm not actually sure. Because I know that a lot of people had said that they didn't want me in jury. Look at me being indecisive with my answer. I know that people said that they didn't want me in jury because I was indecisive, which doesn't make any sense to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, looking back on my HOHs, I can't say that I would do anything differently because it got me to as far as I got. So yeah, that's what I think about that.
Finally, give me your rapid fire thoughts on each of the remaining house guests, starting with Ashley.
For Ashley, I'll say funny.
Ava.
Ava is unapologetic in the best way.
Keanu.
For Keanu, self-assured.
Morgan.
Morgan, um, determined.
And finally, Vince.
For Vince, I'll go with cautious.